Hey everybody, and welcome to Bonsai by Alan. It's a little windy today, so I hope the wind doesn't screw up the microphone on this thing, and you may be hearing my wind chimes in the background. But today I wanted to talk about my juniper collection. And since I'm in the US, at the very northern section of Zone 10, junipers are challenging for me. And I say for me because there's other people that might be able to grow them a little better. But this batch I'm very proud of because they've really done well, and I'm really happy with them. And I'm only going to do an overview today. Later on I'll do videos where I work each of these trees individually. So I purchased these trees and they look like this, except for the ferns. I have these wild ferns that have just grown. And I want to remove them, but I also want to save them. I just don't want to rip them out like a weed. So forgive the ferns. So this was the smallest one. I don't want to call it the runt because it's still healthy, but it just really didn't have a leader. So now it has the potential. I could probably do something like that and make that the leader. That looks pretty good. But with the others, because they were longer and had larger leaders, the next stage, and let me move this guy out of the way, is to just do a stake. So I did a stake, and I just staked up the leader that I thought would make a good trunk. Oops, sorry, it fell. So there's an interesting trunk line, comes up into here, and it's difficult to see, but I just wanted to show you the process that I use. So that's the next step, and you can see it's still in a nursery can. So there's been no root pruning on this guy. It's just simply, I chose one of the leaders and I forced it to go up. And then the next step is root pruning. And now this one here still has the stake. And if we bend it like that, this is also a pretty nice tree. It's got decent motion. It certainly needs a lot of work. But it has been root pruned. And I root pruned junipers in the dead of winter. In this section of the world, you've got to root prune junipers in the dead of winter because they just don't do well any other time of the year. They need to be dormant, and so 1st of January through the middle of January. We've had kind of a cold January and even beginning into February, so every day that goes by though, it becomes a little more tenuous to root prune them. So I root pruned all the rest of these guys that you see here pretty much within the 2-day period about 2 years ago in the beginning of January. And they're all a little different. Here's one that, if we open it up, has some interesting motion. Here's one that's going to end up being a cascade. Comes down, and this is actually another food container. This is grapes. And I love these because they already have the perforations. You don't even have to poke holes in them. And it's also got a little baby fern starting. And here's another cascade that's actually in a cascade pot. Although the cascade on this one is really not as healthy as the cascade on this guy. And then this one here has fallen over quite a bit. And I've got a couple others that have also fallen over like that. And all the ones that I've shown you so far are Procumbens nana, Juniperus Procumbens nana. And then I've got 2 that are actually not together that are called Parsoni. So it's a little bit different leaf. These grow much larger. And this one also has some very interesting movement. And I really was thinking of trying to air layer this and bringing this one up as the leader. And once again, later we'll do all that. Here's another one. Oh, and I also have pictures of when I originally potted these guys. Here's another one that has fallen over a little bit. And I'm not concerned about that. What I'm concerned about at this stage is that they're still alive And they're not only alive, they're really healthy. So I'm really happy. Another thing I do is I take the wire off prematurely. I'm just paranoid about having wire scars that I hate. So like this guy here was actually wired up, and then it just, as soon as I took the wire off, it just fell back down. This is the other parsoni, and then yet another fern on this guy, which also fell over. You see he's just all prostrate. But he's supposed to be like that, and that's a pretty nice little tree too. The top needs to curve to mimic the curves of the bottom. And then this guy here. So that's my juniper collection, and I'm pretty proud that they're just so healthy. I've kept them alive. I think my problems in the past was that I just simply didn't keep them wet and didn't water them enough, especially in the summer. They sort of struggle in the summer with the heat, and if it's very dry, we have a very long dry season where I live here, from about now actually through the end of May. So April and May, if you forget to water, your junipers can be in big trouble. So I'm happy that these guys are growing well, and I'll have subsequent videos on each and every one of these where I style them, to the next stage. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to my channel. If you like what you see, or maybe you are wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing, leave a comment, any kind of comment, even on the video quality, because I'm so new at all this. I really need some input on how I'm doing. And I think I already said subscribe, like, leave a comment. I think that's about it. So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for the individual styling of each of these trees. So I will see you in the next video.